My name is Sife Morrison, and this is This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Tune in. We'll be talking about bass, talking about chips, talking about rings. You ain't got them, zip your lip. You got a problem you haven't found, check your grounds. The show about to start. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio. Yeah. Tune in. This Week in Car Audio.
Most of them last night. I was so mad.
That's what our guys had to start doing too, because they were doing live on all of them.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, blew the shit out of every fucking.
All right, guys, welcome up This Week in Car Audio with our guest today, Andrew McCain and Kevin Kollar. Robert. Who's Kevin Kollar? Is that another competitor?
Yeah, long-time competitor.
He was the CRX guy, right?
Yes, the green one, the beautiful one.
That's right. I knew I remember that. But anyway, so this is Robert Kollar. That was him doing 170. Can you explain that video to us, sir?
First year back out of retirement, thanks to Andrew, of course, and Kurt Nelson, but we 93 S10. The enclosure was in the cab per the rules, no blow-throughs, and we went the first time, popped an amp and did a 68.6. And this is my rerun, and we always wanted to do a 70. I mean, 170 dB, even though it's in the kick and it's outlaw, it's still a feat that hardly anybody's ever done in USAC, especially out of a stock type of vehicle. And we did it. We popped off 170.7 dB, and it wasn't a fluke. We backed it up before I got rid of the vehicle. So
is that another competitor?
It's still a feat that hardly anybody come back. It was one of the best memories I've ever had.
Cool. Jeremy Creamer says that's one ugly dude.
Hey, yeah. Jeremy's a great guy. He's become a really good friend of mine.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, just so for people that don't know, so you used to live in New Mexico. Tell us your little story about moving out to Florida there.
I'll try to be somewhat gentle. Went to CES in Vegas, and
CES Showdown, right?
Yep. Jeremiah Becker's show out there, and Chemo and all those guys were out there. And USAC, we was going for the outlaw world record. We had it easy. Well, I did my outlaw, and I was going to go back and do it my legal run. So there's doing two records, and what had happened is there was a small piece of tape that was on the back of my the back window, and it was caught in a video. I didn't even know it was there. It didn't do nothing. It was literally 2 inches by 2 inches.
Okay.
They caught it in the video. After I left the show Monday morning, I got a call from USAC wanting to DQ that run. A major competitor from another company complained about it, got me DQ'd. They said, well, we don't have to do the legal because that video, it wasn't there, but on the outlaw run, it was there. I was like, okay, whatever, just DQ both of them. So nobody has to, I don't want no drama in that way. So I took the DQ. And at that point I decided, okay, this company's based out of Florida. So guess what? I'm going to drive to Florida for spring break nationals, and I'm going to kick this person's ass, and excuse my mouth, and all orgs that was there. And we did. Actually, I was running Sundown at the time, and Incriminator, Nick, and everybody on the team came together. I smoked 2 subs, just destroyed the cones on them. Mm-hmm. Nick and everybody, Melissa and Neil Barber, those 2, and Bo and Gorman, everybody just pulled together and worked on my subs and got them fixed for the next day. And I still came back to win with broken subs. So that day there, I became an incriminator guy, and I'll never go back.
So just so you know, so back in 2006, I think, World Finals, I couldn't remember whose van it was. It was one of the big guys. And we're at World Finals, and I believe Nick was part of this deal. And so, you know what? I think it was Riley. As a matter of fact, I think it was Bobby
and Alex. Yes. Bobby and they were gone by 07, I think.
So I think it was 06, and I believe it was Bobby with the blue van, and he had like 14 12s or 10 12s or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he smoked every sub on a run and tied. So you have 5 minutes in DB drag, then you have to rerun. And I'm not kidding you, there was a conveyor belt of people with subwoofers, and in that 5 minutes, they got every sub swapped out, wired, and playing before his next run.
Holy smokes.
I went through something very similar at 08 finals, the first time I had met you, Doug. But that's another story.
Yeah. So people do that in the lanes, fall through help. Nick, great guy. I've known him since 2002-ish, from Incriminator. Nick right there. Nick's really good guy. I knew him before he even had a girlfriend. I don't even think he had a girlfriend at that time. Well before he met his wife and was married and all that. I don't know if you guys know, but Nick used to be a wrestling judge, a referee for pro wrestling on TV type thing.
Yep, WWE or WWF, whatever it is.
Yeah,
I think it's what it was back in the day.
Yeah, so he used to do
really?
That. Yes, sir.
That kind of wrestling.
That kind of wrestling. You are correct, sir.
Wow.
But yeah, no, that's like I said. So I've seen people come together in the lanes and do that. There's always the one room at World Finals where everybody takes all their stuff, and there's somebody, poor guys just sitting there all night long, freaking clamping woofers and reconing at World Finals, right?
Yeah.
So, which is cool. Hey, anybody that's watching this right now, if you don't mind, share it to whatever pages you want. If you could, please share it to whoever. I don't share. I only share it to the DB Drag page and the Sonic FX page. But if you're sitting here watching this right now, please share it to whatever basehead page you're involved in. Let's try and get this thing to grow. Also, we got other great news. You can download the audio only part of the podcast at iTunes, or you can also do it at iHeartRadio. So just look up This Week in Car Audio. So, hey, Gabe Sanchez. There's a good name. I'm going to have him on the show one of these times.
Yes, please do.
Yes. I will. Gabe's a great fella. Known him since Power Base days? Is that where I met him, I think? So, yeah, he's been a big part of Andrew's career and whatnot.
Huge part.
Yes. So, hey, why don't you, Mr. Rob, why don't you come through and tell us about, your evolution into car audios? How did you start and whatnot?
Oh, wow. I believe it was in the mid 90s. I can't remember. I've slept since then. Manchester, New Hampshire. The first show I seen was actually in Salem, New Hampshire. And I remember Shaker, Art was there. Mm-hmm. And a bunch of the other guys, old school guys. That's what did it. I had
Fukuda?
86. Yes. Holy crap. Yeah. back in the day, but guys now
man.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah. But, I remember watching them compete, and I had, at the time I had an IROC, but I ended up getting a Monte Carlo, and I had like 3 Fosgate HX 210s in a trunk. And, I went to my first DB Drag show in Manchester, New Hampshire, and got my ass handed to me by a CRX. but it was a blast. I've been hooked ever since.
Okay. So then you stepped away. Why did you step away?
Let's see, or 2008, 2009. I had my first son, and the expense was just too much. Yeah. You know, me and my wife both worked normal jobs and stuff, so it was tough. So we retired, and I actually ran a tire corporate tires chain discount or not discount, Goodyear tires. Okay. But anyways, I had an opportunity to go to New Mexico. My dad was fixing to lose his company, and I was tired of the corporate stuff. And we went to Albuquerque and met back up with Andrew again after a long time and stuff. We've been friends forever. And he introduced me to Kurt Nilsson. I built Kurt's Blazer that won the DB Dragon 16. Andrew and Kurt flew me out just to help out and hang out with them. And that was it. When I got back, I found an S10 that one of Kurt's guys had. And it just snowballs from there. You know, don't miss a beat. We're out here. I have no help. My wife is the best sound deadener person in the world. I mean, she can lay down some Vibraflex, double rigid. She's good at it. So, but she's my hands. So that's what got me back into it. And then, like I said, a couple years ago, I got with Incriminator, and Nick and the whole crew has been good to me. So I'm here where I'm at because of them, actually, right now. So that's what it is.
Very cool. So just so you know, I don't think you've ever been to one of my events, have you?
No, sir.
Not even when I did the one in New Mexico or the ones in Vegas?
He's done the New Mexico versus California.
Yes.
Okay, so you were on the other side.
Yeah, but I was there. But I never got a chance to. I've never had you judge me at an event. So
okay.
We have to fix that sometime though.
So I have done Spring Break Nationals. I believe 3 different years. When I went out there, those guys weren't ready for me.
Oh Lord!
It's they seem to think that I'm a tough judge. I would think the guys in California would disagree, but they definitely. I'm fair. We'll say that. How's that? I'm fair. I enforce the rules across the board with everybody the same. I'm not going to fudge just because your name's Andrew McCain, right?
Correct. I believe, Doug, you're the top DP drag judge.
I appreciate that, sir.
Period. I'm just stating what I believe. I truly believe a fact. I won't elaborate in negative ways, but yeah, you're a great judge.
So just so you know, so we got Celeste Harris in here. We got does that say Daryl Shelton?
Yeah, I think that says you gotta watch. You gotta watch that guy. He started to dabble a little bit in DB drag. He's really wanting to this year. But you gotta watch that guy. He's a little shady.
Oh, hey, I absolutely encourage anyone to dabble in any format they want. It could be USAC, it could be DB drag. I don't care. I just want to see people get out, compete, have fun. And like you have your wife involved, dude. That is so awesome. I have my kids helping me do shows since they were 10 years old.
Oh, wow.
So my daughter at 10 started helping running the computer. My other daughter took over for a short time when she was around 12-ish. Then my son took over when he turned like 15. Wow. And he's my youngest. He's 21 now. But now I don't have any kids at home. So now I have to pay the local kids to come out and try and help me. So
there you go.
That's what I'm working on. Oh, some Heather Kollar is watching.
Yeah, that's my wife.
She blew you some kisses.
I think behind any world champion or successful, actually strike that, behind any successful person,
yes,
you're oftentimes going to find a very helpful and supportive wife or husband. And that spouse is typically successful as well because they share so much in common.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've talked with a lot of my friends about the heart of a champion, you know, and I'm for those reasons I'm a huge Olympic fan. I love watching the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just so you guys know, I do have a plan of having Celise on here eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be cool when I do get her on here. It's the goal of the event.
Because they share so much in common.
I do have a plan. Sorry about that. But yes, so someday I'm going to have Celise on here. I do believe Wayne Harris would not be as successful as he is without Celise. I truly believe that. I think Celise is a great person. She does more for this organization in DB Drag specifically than anyone could ever know. You know, not everybody has the same access to Wayne and Celise that I do. You know, I've been dealing with them about 22 years. So, you know, not everybody has that same amount of access I do, but I promise you, anything you see happening in DB Drag, it went through Celise. So,
Yeah.
You know, Andrew, I mean, Priscilla is, you know, and this might sound a little cheesy, but it isn't. It's true. I would say Priscilla's central to Andrew. Andrew came with me on a vacation to Alaska a couple years ago, and absolutely, I'll tell you right now, Priscilla. He oh man, there's so many people trying to join Sonic Effects right now. That's good.
That's what we want.
That's what we want. But and then as they join, you know, then they can start posting comments and whatnot. Anyway, I will tell you truthfully, 100%. She's a driving factor in him and allows him through what she does in life. She allows him to be able to
so
do
much
what he
in
wants
common.
to do. You know, right, Andrew? I mean, without her and her support, there's no way you could have continually ran your business in New Mexico for as long as you have.
That's correct. You know, she's quite successful in her own right too. She's got a master's degree, and she's been you know, her students statistically score far better than the other classes in her same grade and school.
Yeah.
Than her coworkers students do, and it's not a new thing. It's been going on for decades.
So my wife, most people don't know my wife. Andrew does, obviously, but my wife in her county, she has had, except for those last 2 years because of the COVID, I don't know what the results are, but the previous 7 years to that, my wife has had the highest increase in California state testing scores of any teacher in her county.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, my wife's very, very driven, as Andrew knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's without her, I wouldn't be able to do this stuff. She supports me. She helps keep me grounded because money has zero value to me, as most DB draggers, right? Money has zero value to us, but my wife is right on top of me, making sure, you know, hey, don't spend too much here. Don't do this. Don't do that, you know. But in the same token,
$5,000 amp, that's all.
Yeah, but you know, in the same breath, she'd be like, okay, so this is what we really need, and she'll jump on board and yeah, this is what we need.
And then you tell them that you need 8 of them.
That's not always an easy sell.
No. You start out with 1 though.
Yeah. I just seen Tiffany posted up in here. They're from Barbados. I see we also have somebody here from, I think it's Australia. So, you know, we're getting all over the world. Just so you guys know, so now you could be super famous.
Nah.
But no, it's really a big deal. We like to share this stuff with everybody in the country, in the world. We're getting, and you guys are what we're doing this about. We want to share also how you guys have a love for this, right? Absolutely. I mean, Andrew owns a stereo shop, and he still gets out there, builds and completes. You know, he builds for other people. I've seen him help other people build. It's awesome. I mean, like I said, I love this stuff. So what do you have? Do you have any rings, Mr. Robert?
Yeah.
Let's hear about your rings.
Got a few. Okay. I've got a few. Most of my rings came back from the old USAC days at South Padre. I've got a ring for every finger on one hand from that, but I've got a couple USAC rings, got a Mecca ring. Unfortunately, the only one I don't have, and to be honest with you, the only one that really matters to me is DB Drag. We are killing it. Yeah, I know. Hey, it ain't for a lack of trying. Trust me. I've gone against, Kyle Everly, with Soundcheck.
That's a tough draw.
Yeah. And then, Nick Simino and Patrick Lisner, those guys, when I was in No Wall, those guys, they're just loud.
Jeremy Kramer just mentioned you don't have one in DB Drag because you're not loud enough.
That might be true. But you know what? I tell you what, I ain't doing no 70, but I tell you what, I'm going to give them heck this year.
So what class are you going to be in?
I'm a Super Street 1-2.
Okay.
I've got an 81 Ford Courier, old school Ford Courier, 2 18-inch incriminator wardens, and 4 80.1s in it. And believe it or not, this gets a kick. And I'm friends with a lot of soundboard guys. What's that?
Hi, Heather.
He sees her walking around in the background.
You got to pop in, Heather.
Yeah, I actually have a lot of friends with a lot of sound quality friends. Okay. The deck that I use is probably one of the best sound quality decks I ever made. It's a DRZ.
Have to sell that.
No, man, I fought hard to get it. Shit, boy, you better not sell that. But it's a Clarion DRZ 9255 copper chassis head unit. That is my burp deck.
Okay.
So, and that's just the seriousness of how we take this and the love. We try to find the best we can of everything. I know a lot of guys are doing a great job with a $150 Pioneer. Derek Haddock in his Project SPL, he's just using a cheap Pioneer, but he's killing it. But me, I'm old school. That is my best deck. Starting from the signal chain, I want the best I can get. So Clarion was the way I went. I had luck with it back in the day. That's where I'm going now.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of the Pioneer. There's some really good Pioneer decks out there that a lot of the guys use. So the people that don't know, I'm going to actually do a formal introduction here for Mr. Andrew McCain. This is about a 1.5-minute long video. I'm going to watch this one. You guys might want to watch this on your side monitors, whatever. But so this one here, this is Andrew getting his very first ring. You'll see a handful of people in there that you might know. You'll see Team Basic Alpine, Ray Choi. By the way, this video is from Andy Tusher, which is Booming Audio. Booming Audio, that's Andy Tusher and Jeffrey Fernandez. Jeffrey's now the judge in Texas somewhere. I don't know where in Texas. So,
really?
Yeah. So he moved to Texas from LA.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So this video, it's poor quality, but it was from 2008. So, I mean, how good was quality? Anyway, so let's put this up there real quick. Let's see here. And play.
Ready, set, go. 30 seconds.
So I know YouTube, but Andrew just burst.
167 over here. All right, everybody just let go. except for Alpine. Wait, set your voltage, go back up.
10 seconds.
Let go on the side, let go on the door, let go on the door. 167.0,
I'm not sure who it is going against. Tries the second vert.
Oh! We got a tie?
So this is back in real time.
We got a tie! Step back up! Step back up!
167.0.
Andrew, step back up! Come on, let's go! Get it ready, bud!
Wow!
Look at that young guy.
Competition right there. Here we go, baby. Here we go. 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Ready, set,
Oh, there's
go.
Team Mini in the back.
Here we go.
20 seconds.
All right, hold. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, he does 167.1 for Andrew.
130.9, 161, 164.0, force 120 lights.
And Andrew wins with a 160.1 to 160. That was Andrew Tusher getting the fourth. Look at Andrew's face. That's his first ring. And he looks young.
Congratulations, buddy. That's awesome.
There's Jeffrey.
Congratulations, Andrew. That's awesome, Andrew. Good job.
So that is there you are.
So what you don't see in that video is a couple of things. That was a competitor. I guess we could go back and look, but I believe that was a competitor from Greece at the Italy location.
So that was something I was going to bring up. So this was way back in the day when we first started. It was, I believe, only the second year that we had a remote World Finals. And we were in Laughlin, Nevada, and they were, you know what? I believe that was international. Yes, because you were the national champion. Mm-hmm. And you were going against somebody in a different part of the world. And the Europeans, I believe it was 2:00 in the morning for them, and they were competing. So, yeah.
True world finals.
Yes. It became prohibitive as we continued, you know, just, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. It'd be nice to get back to it, but it's very difficult because of time, you know, time of day. And when we're competing on, say, a Sunday morning, well, those guys have to be to work Monday, and it's already 3:00 in the morning Monday in Europe, you know, when we're trying to wrap up. And so it does make it a little more difficult. But yes, that's part of the reason. And also Wayne, Josh Tattoo tapping in here. For you guys that don't know, Josh is out of Reno. He's a really cool dude. Anyway, so the World Finals was truly a World Finals, and everybody got to do wherever they were. It's difficult to do troubleshooting for technology. And I mean, I don't know if you guys understand. So we got all this Zoom call and this stuff, right? That stuff really wasn't there at this time. So Wayne was kind of creating it as we were going. And I mean, it was really cool technology. Andrew, just another thing, Andrew's helped me help Wayne by doing multiple events. We were doing 2 or 3 events a year, Andrew, where it'd be New Mexico versus California or whatever. And that's helped so drastically with the with the development on the software side. So that's just some of the cool old stuff. You got any of your rings on, Andrew?
No.
There's some really good pictures. I went to the USucky website today. There's a whole pile of rings. Look at that. Come on, Rob. Don't let him one up you.
Oh no, he got way more than I'll ever have.
But yeah, so I mean, like, I went to their website today, and they actually have the picture of Andrew showing all his bling off with the DB drag ring on there too. So it's got all the USAC rings across his across his fingers, and DB drag on his thumb. I don't discredit any other organizations. I think all organizations have their have their thing for their guys, obviously. As you guys know, I am DB Drag. I've been DB Drag since I started this thing. I did a USAC event once way back when with Mike Jaffe. Awesome guy. In case I don't know, have you ever met Mike Jaffe, Rob?
Oh yeah. As a matter of fact, to catch up, he was doing a show in Hobbs, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. During the show, he had a heart attack. A mild heart attack. My wife and another competitor ran into the emergency room where they life-flighted him to Lubbock. And I finished doing the show. Me and Brian Moon, it was his show. I finished doing the show for him and then took his money to him at the hospital to check on him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I love Mike Jaffe. And
Mike Jaffe's awesome.
Dude, I have never met anybody that did not like Mike Jaffe. So me, people absolutely hate me. I am a very polarizing person. The people that like me really, really like me, and they will go to bat for me in anything. But the people that hate me, dude, they hate me.
Well,
you know,
people hate judges that follow the rules, and I would rather you come to me and say, "Hey, this is wrong. I can't let you run like this." Mm-hmm. You know, I would understand a single or double point show, or maybe a triple toward the beginning of the year. You got to change this. You know, I'll let you run, but you got to change it first. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the way Jeremy is too. He tells me blunt if I'm doing something wrong, or if he sees something, he gets on me about it. But I respect that.
Yep.
I would rather you be honest with me than me getting surprised at finals. So, but
I hate judges that don't follow the rules.
Oh yes.
I hate judges without integrity. That's anyway. Yeah. I'm not going to elaborate anymore.
No, please don't.
Leave it there.
Yeah. The people that know, right?
Yeah.
So, yep. But like I said, in general, most of the judges are very, very honest. They're going to follow the rules. They're going to be integral in all of the parts. I just, like I said, I am such a big fan of the car audio as a whole. I know you guys are. Andrew's, I mean, he was judging DB Drag, you know, as a DB Drag judge for quite a few years. He's done USAC. You know, as a competitor and a judge. And I really think the competitors that become judges, they are really good judges. I mean, look at Jeffrey Fernandez. I know Andrew knows him really well, right? Andrew, you know Jeffrey?
Yeah, not really well, but I do know him.
You know him from the events, from World Finals and whatnot.
Absolutely.
And I will tell you, he is really, I mean, I'm not discrediting any other judges, but, you know, when I'm running a World Finals event, he is very integral in, and I really look to him to assure that the vehicles are good. Now he comes to me with, hey, this kind of, let's have a discussion. And we have a discussion. We usually call up the other location and say, hey, this is what we're seeing. What do you guys think? And then we make a decision as a whole between the judges in the other location and the judges in our location. You will very rarely see me or many of the other judges make an absolute decision on something without contacting another judge. I mean, you can ask Creamer. I've talked to him about, hey, what are you seeing? I get texts from Creamer during the show season almost every weekend. Hey, Doug, this is what I'm seeing. And I'll text him, hey, Jeremy, this is what I'm seeing. What do you think? And we'll bounce things off each other. The other little Jeremy, as we call him, up in Wisconsin, he, you know, same thing with him. Hey, man, here's some pictures. I don't think this is cool. What do you think? Oh yeah, this guy called me already, and that's another thing, you guys. If you call one judge, most of the judges know about it. So if you call me and ask me a question or text me or something, and then you call Jeremy hoping to get a different answer, chances are you're not going to get a different answer. We talk.
Yeah, you do your job.
No, we like to think we do.
Yeah. Oh, and I'll try to keep up with Andrew a little bit.
Oh, look at them. That's some little blingy blingy.
Not as many, not as big.
Hey, and just saying, none of those are DB drag rings.
Rub it in, Doug. Rub it in. Hey, we gonna get a DB drag ring.
Yeah.
It ain't like it. Trust me, it ain't for lack of trying out here.
Oh, I don't doubt that. And I'm not. I honestly, I think all organizations have their place and they're really good. But my personal opinion, and mind you, look where I'm coming from, right? I'm a head judge for DB Drag. I think DB Drag is just head and shoulders above the other organizations when you talk about competition. To tell somebody, I got a DB Drag ring. USAC ring is awesome, and I think that's a great accomplishment. And I would never take that away from anybody. But like Andrew has on the USAC website, all USAC rings, and all I can see is the one DB Drag ring. And that one there is, that shows me, in my opinion, a different level of commitment. I mean, not commitment's the wrong word. You reached a different level.
Yeah. I mean, and it is. I mean, and it just is. I mean, I've competed in every org. Even there's a new one that's popped up, Base Wars. Okay. Great org. Mm-hmm. Great org. Really, Louisiana, over here in Florida, Mississippi, Alabama. He's doing a good job, but he's trying to get to that level. But when you get up there, I mean, to be honest with you, DB Drag's what any real competitor that has worked their butts off, as long as me and Andrew have, that is the ring we want. Yeah. Plain and simple. Yeah. And we're going to get every other ring we can on the way there, but that's the one we want.
Yes. Hey, Andrew, do you want to explain to Joshua Tattoo? He says, what is those rings for? Would you like to tell him?
Well,
hold on, just quick. So you know who Josh Tattoo is? He did my first podcast since I took this over. He's a gentleman out of Reno. He just built a car, and he's just started competing this last year. So nice. He's really new, and he's just absolutely loving this stuff right now. So yeah, would you mind explaining to him about the rings?
Well, the rings are evidence of commitment, drive, and hard work. The school of MIT. Mistakes I've tried. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of mistakes. It's a lot of help and patience from friends and your spouse. Yes. It's success. It's just evidence of success that you've had, and mistakes that you've had.
Yep. So the short version of this is it's a world champion ring for each organization. USAC has the rings. They're a little bit bigger, a little bit wider. And then DB Drag has like a Jolston style ring. So we don't have a true world champion anymore. What we have is it's a continental champion would be the best way, because we do South America, we do North America, they do Europe, they do Australia. So those are the different ones. I would just like to mention Jeremy Creamer here, in case you did not see it, said you will get your ring when pigs fly, Robert.
Yeah, well, if I didn't catch shit from him every once in a while, every day, I would think there's something wrong with him. But you can't help but to love the guy.
No,
but
he's just a teddy bear, ain't he?
Oh, he is, man. He is. I mean, I love the guy to death. I really do. And he's been really detrimental to me being able to get a little bit better every year since I've really started competing DB drag.
I believe you meant instrumental, not detrimental. He's not stopping you.
No,
right?
no, detrimental.
Oh.
But no, he's been a big help. He's knows my vehicles in and out, because if I think that I'm in a gray area, I'll shoot him a picture and say, tell me yes or no. And a lot of times I've had to wait for him to get replies back from Jeremy Weber and you and Ray to make sure you was all on the same page.
Yep.
That's the commitment we expect from you guys as judges, that that way everybody knows that they're on the same page. But yeah, he might be right on the pigs flying part. It might be that long.
That's hilarious. I find that, like I said, and Jeremy's another one. His wife is a huge supporter of him at his shows, and she's a big part of him and his success in the shows also. So I don't know what you know about me, Rob, but so I really promote family involvement in my DB drags. I want you to bring your kids. I want you to have your kids. As a matter of fact, right now I have a young gentleman. His name's Ricky Garcia. His dad, Rick Garcia, he's been competing with me since the late 90s. And I remember his son coming to the show, 3-4 years old. The kid just turned, I believe he just turned 18. And he's at probably half my shows right now. And he's got a Super Street 1-2 vehicle that's doing 63s.
Wow. That's great.
Second generation DB draggers. That's freaking awesome, right?
Yeah. That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. So I truly promote this as a family event. When you come to my events, I don't cuss on the microphone. I don't play music with cuss words in it. I try not to, but Pandora doesn't always, they don't always play the clean version of songs. But I want you to bring your kids to the show. I don't have strippers at my shows. The what's it called, like the like the girls in the booty shorts, and I don't do that at my shows. Mike Jaffe, he used to have the Frozen T-shirt contest at his shows, right?
Yeah.
And I, like I said, I totally love Mike Jaffe, and he's my second competition. I did the travel around Kenwood. I did a Kenwood show, my very first event, and then I did a Mike Jaffe show, which was a USAC show, and I definitely loved the way he presented the event, and so I used the way he presented his events in the DB drag area, right? And I think that's what makes, I hope mine are entertaining. No, it wasn't a wet t-shirt, Josh. It was Frozen t-shirt.
Frozen.
For a reason.
Yep. Yeah. And Mike's thing too, love the guy. Mm-hmm. He loved boob hugs.
Oh boy, does he ever.
So yeah, he loves boob hugs, but yeah.
No, Mike's a great dude, like I said, and like, so those elements of his show I didn't incorporate into mine. And there's half the stuff I would say that he does at his show, I could never get away with it because I'm not a dirty old man, and you can't just go, he's just a dirty old man, right?
Yeah.
So I'm much younger than Mike, like half his age-ish.
He a different time.
Yes.
A different time. You guys can't get away with some of the stuff, and I respect that. I try not to cuss around the kids and try not to at shows, especially when I know there's families around. Mm-hmm. But man, when you're with your friends and your team, and it's hard not to cut up and become Mike Jaffe for a little bit.
Yeah. He called me and told me he retired from doing car audio, and we actually had him on the other podcast I used to do with Lucky McGovern, and and he was on a short time, and he is such an old man. He couldn't figure out how to get his phone to work. I was trying to get him to turn it sideways.
Lord.
I promise you, I'm going to have him back on here. Me and Jaffe had a great time together. We did multiple shows together where we were at the same venue at the same time. We'd have dueling microphones. I'd be jabbing at him. He'd be jabbing back at me. And we would always make time every year at CES. I would come hang out with Jaffe for a while. Still talk to the guy on the phone, not as much as I'd like. Probably only talk to him once every 2 or 3 months. But I still do call and, hey, you still remember who I am, Mike? Just checking, because you are old, getting senile.
Man.
But no, Mike's a great dude. I will have him on this show. Speaking of which, so we got about 15 minutes left, roughly. Let's start with you, Rob. Why don't you? So this podcast here, we really want to kind of focus in on some of the mistakes you guys might have made coming up. And I know that being as long as you guys have been in this, there's probably a list much longer than we have time for. But what are some of the big mistakes that you might be able to share with people that are listening to the podcast or watching us live right now? What kind of mistakes to help them so they wouldn't make that same mistake?
I think, and it's something that really sticks out to me big time, and I see it a lot. It drives me nuts. And I don't know that I've ever done it. I know I've never done it intentionally. Is I see people asking questions, and somebody will put in a comment about how to do something or fix something or rules or whatever, and they're giving false information. That is the worst thing you could do to any newcomer, is give them false information on purpose. And I see it all the time. I fight myself because I'm very blunt. I don't have a filter. My filter gets broke quite a bit. And I want to say something and be that guy, but I try not to, because I don't want to hurt what we're trying to do here, bring everybody into this. But that's the biggest thing. But mistakes I've made, trial and error. I mean, it's crazy. The trial and error. Trial and error is the biggest thing you can do.
So I wouldn't say trial and error is a mistake. I think that's a trial and error. Yeah. You learn so much.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking did you show up to a show and forget to hook up your RCAs?
Oh, Mecca finals this year. I was going against Hank Beach's Fiorino. That little thing is loud.
Yes.
Mecca M4 was only about 10,000 watts. Now that you got to take out your subwoofer, your cone area on that 10. So I was at 94 and change. So I think I could have beat him. Not sure, but I had the numbers to beat him. But I was testing, got in lanes, and forgot to turn my volume click up. So I didn't have the full volume roll. I had a screen at the time. That's another reason I went back. And as I reached across, I hit the shuffle button.
Oh, that's a big one.
And it played a 10 to 100 sweep. And I lost the sub. Mistakes. Gorman and Bose preached to me constantly on this. Do your routine. Don't let nobody talk to you. Tell people to get away from you. Pay attention to what you're doing. Because one volume click can take away a world championship that quick.
There goes that ring, right?
Yep, gone.
So I will tell you something I have seen in that mindset. People actually put a laminated piece of paper on top of their remote head unit, their podium, and it has a checklist on it. and they set that up behind their car and go through that checklist, and then they give me the thumbs up. I'm ready to go. So,
see, some I could try, to go through a checklist. I'm usually pretty adamant about it.
Mm-hmm.
Probably because I'm so stinking nervous. After all these years, my hands still shake. I mean, it's terrible, but that's something that's good advice. I might have to do that. Give me a checklist. I usually do it mentally, but obviously I'm getting old too, and my mentally ain't working so good.
What about you, Andrew? Any kind of, mistakes that you could help somebody avoid, possibly?
Well, probably the most embarrassing mistake that I was oblivious to. Another world champion didn't tell me that it was a mistake, but he was pretty kind in the beginning. I met this wonderful guy named Gabe Sanchez back in 1997, I believe, 96 maybe. No, excuse me. My years are all off.
Well, you're getting old too.
No, it's not that old. No, I'm sorry. I'm getting a decade off. So It was 2006 or 2007.
Okay.
And I'd screwed around and competed a little bit just locally. And I was trying to just be quick and easy. I'm trying to run a business too.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually wanted my box to look nice. So I took the speaker box carpet, and I lined the inside of my box with speaker box carpet, where you could see inside the port.
Mm-hmm.
And it was and Gabe is Gabe Sanchez, who also has world championships and world records, at least at the time, was looking at it with me, and I was showing him, and I didn't know enough about it to even be embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
You're proud.
I know now, but we need that port and the inside to be as smooth as smooth as a baby bottom, and it was definitely rough, with that carpet in there. So that was certainly a mistake. But I think the biggest mistake that others have helped me learn how to avoid, Kyle Witherspoon, who's also DB drag world champion and
multiple times.
He worked with directly. He and Scott Owens worked directly on both of their vehicles. But
with Pioneer,
he told me, if I'm going to talk to you, you have to do what I say. You have to listen to me. And probably one of my bigger mistakes was not listening to other people that were giving me advice that I didn't. I felt like I could do it a cheaper or a faster way. It's probably like a lot of other people starting out.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna make this whole car audio thing on fire with my new techniques, right?
Yeah,
maybe. I don't know. And then of course I was asking this one guy. This was back in 2006. Actually Greg Cobbs, another multi-time world champion from the early 2000s, maybe even the late 90s. I said, so what do I need to do? I was looking for that cookie cutter approach, okay, show me the path, just put me on it and I'll go there. And not understanding that you got to make your own way. And, it's every situation's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we got a couple minutes left here. We're going to open up to questions. Remember, it takes a couple minutes for them to come through because they could be as far back as 2 minutes behind. One of the questions here, though, I did see that I liked. Tristan Paris from Barbados. He chimed in and wanted to know, he said specifically Andrew, but I'm sure it's for both you, Rob and Andrew. What was the feeling you had when you won your first ring, Andrew?
It was really exciting, really, that, and I think he asked something about what was my favorite event also. Is that right?
I did not see that one, but this is one. But yeah, you can elaborate on that however you want, sir. Yeah,
that was in 2008. In fact, I had that was the second time I think I had met you, Doug, right? Because you had come out.
I believe so. Yes, sir.
I needed a certified event.
And I stayed at your house.
Yep.
First time I met you, stayed at your house.
I was surprised.
Yep.
But yeah, that was a tremendous amount of fun. But my first world championship in Laughlin, Nevada was certainly one of the most meaningful because, you know, I was not the loudest. I know that for a fact. I'm drawing a blank. Dr. Matthew Miller and
Dr. Walrus, right? Wasn't he Team Walrus?
You know, I don't know. I just knew him as Dr. Matthew Miller, Doc Miller.
Yep.
And
he's a dentist.
Yep. And I met him. I met him a few years later there at DB Drag World Finals at a different one. But anyway, to make a long story short, you have to finish the race if you're going to win it. And I had a good, reliable, durable system. Not the most in the world, but, you know, at that time, I didn't break. And when we went against, when I was going against the guys from Greece at the Italy location, we everybody there from Mexico and Canada said, do you want us to get on top of the vehicle, you know, to try and contain, you know, stop the vibrations and get it louder? And I'm like, why not? You know, it's, it can't hurt, you know.
Right.
And they wanted to participate and enjoy it so much. So everybody jumped on. We went for we fired off for the first world championship. And then, of course, we tied down to the 10th of a dB. And there was a delay, you know, back then the internet was 3G speeds maybe. And so we had 5 minutes for a rerun, right? And so I didn't leave the lane. I was just charging up. I had a stinky 1987 Astra van. And I had already reconed my speaker about 30 minutes prior. And I was checking the cone to see if it was okay. And you were right behind me, Doug, and you asked me, you know, is it okay? And I said, I don't even know why I'm checking this speaker because I can't do anything about it. I've got 5 minutes.
I remember that.
And then 7 or 8 minutes had rolled by. And you said, Andrew, come over here. He says, you know, it's 7 or 8 minutes had gone by. The rule is they have to be in the lane in 5 minutes and they have to run. And he says, do you want that world championship? And I said, yeah, I want it, but I really don't want it like that. You know, let's just wait another minute or two. And sure enough, we could see on the little tiny screen, because it was, you know, data. They pulled in about, I think they pulled in about 8 or 9 minutes later. And I said, no offense, but everybody off the van, because we had actually, that had tanked our score when we tied them. And so we got everybody off. I fired off. They fired off. I think he lost about.
No, it said he did a 160.0 is what he said, and you did a 160.1. That's
so
what
I
the
did
video
it.
did.
I did a really.
Yes, that's the video we just watched.
I remember. I thought it was a 67.2, and I did a 67 on the tie.
Oh, 67.0, and then I swear it said 67.1, but anyway, that was the video we just watched. So yeah.
And then we jumped back up to like 67.1, 67.2.
Yeah, and he couldn't, and he tied the same score, 67.0 again.
Yeah.
So you jumped up and ended up winning that.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, so Mr. Kollar, what's your favorite event? What's your what did it feel like winning your first ring?
Feel like when it was the accomplishment. The first ring it was of course I was happy. I mean, it's just anybody would be, but it's like everything you really work your butt off. You put your family out to the side a little bit sometimes. Most of the time mine's with me, but it was always that win made all that worthwhile. And then my favorite event, actually my favorite event was probably the Spring Break Nationals. The last year they had it when I drove all the way out here, because that was the start to the move to Florida. So that is my favorite event.
And you went out there with a purpose and accomplished it, right?
And that's the whole thing. You know, anybody that's listening is new, finish what you start. Don't get discouraged.
Mm-hmm.
And for all of us old guys, please help out the young guys, because that's the only way this thing's going to last. Mm-hmm. Help the young guys, give them honest answers and knowledge.
Yep. Hey, so we're real close to out of time right now. I want to tell you guys once again, hey, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. I think you guys did a great job. Next week we're gonna have, so I'm gonna be out of town next week. So on Thursday we're gonna be doing CJ DeWitt, that guy. So he was, I believe, 16 years old when he won his ring for a base race. And I'm trying to get on the guy he was going against, which was 16 years old also. CJ DeWitt versus Hoodie M. In the 2016 World Finals base race for 29.9. Two 16-year-olds. That's how much anybody can compete. People listening and watching, I just want to encourage you to compete in a car audio competition. Go out, have fun. That's what this whole thing's about. Just participate. Don't go there just to demo. Participate. These people that put on these events, these stereo shops and whatnot, they put on these events to bring people here. They love you demoing, but just participate. Even if it's Cyclone or Base Race or USAC. Don't worry what organization you get involved in. Go have fun, meet some people. These people from all walks of life have the same love for car audio that you do. So that's all I can tell you guys for right now, but tune in again Thursday, and we're going to have CJ DeWitt, and hopefully I can get Hoodie on here. But right now we're just going to have CJ DeWitt, and we're going to talk about how car audio has done for him. He has stepped away. He's going to college right now, but we'll talk about him on Thursday. Once again, I want to thank Rob Kollar, not Kevin, and Andrew McCain for being with me today. And we were going to be out.